My recommendation would be, even though the demands of classwork are going to represent the bulk of your workload, I would still get out there and carve out time when you can to take advantage of a lot of the amazing resources UT has on campus outside of your department. And one that I'll plug in particular is the Harry Ransom Center, which is a research center that houses the archives of many artists, including Robert De Niro and Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And that's one that I definitely recommend that you check out.
I would recommend that early on in your graduate school experience, you identify the topical areas that you're most interested in, and you look at departments and research centers and other resources at UT that align with your interests, and then you sign up for their newsletters, listservs, etc., so that you're up to date on events that are happening around campus. Oftentimes those events take place over lunchtime. They'll do a quick lunch and learn. Maybe an expert will come in and talk about their book or their research, and then they often serve lunch at these events. And so I often would go to these quickly between classes, get a free lunch, and also expand my academic experience.
I really recommend the Office of Career and Life Design. They're there to help you figure out what your next steps are after you graduate. And sometimes in grad school I feel like there's almost this pressure to be to find this perfect tenure track professor job, but there are so many other options, whether you choose to stay in academia or explore outside of it, and they're there to help you figure that out.
Two hidden gems on campus that I think students don't know about are two of the libraries that we have. One is in the Bass Concert Hall. It's the Fine Arts Library. And the other one is the Tower Library. It's the Life Sciences Library in the Tower on the second floor. They're both less sterile, I think, than the PCL, which is huge and amazing. But if you want something a little bit more intimate with beauty and lighting, those are two hidden gems.
If you're looking for a low-key study space on campus, come check out Varsity Grounds at the East Campus Graduate Apartments. Tons of space to study. You can get a coffee, get some snacks, and there's also an opportunity to meet other graduate students that both live here or that are just here to study. Another tip, if you're someone who likes to run or are into running, hit a few laps around the 40 acres to get your miles in. There's usually lots of other people running, and it's another good way of seeing the campus.
So as a grad student, it can be really hard sometimes to separate your work and life. But I made sure to take weekends off. The weekends that I couldn't take off, I made sure to play a sport in the evenings at least. I met up with my friends. We played pickleball almost every weekend. I also prioritize my sleep and eating healthy food. So most days I try to cook at home. And that's how I prioritize my mental health.
Things I would tell new students to do in their first month is
try East 6th. There's a lot of stuff there. Whistler's, Daydreamer. There's a lot of places that you can just go have a good time, let loose a little bit.
AFS Cinema, Barton Springs, Alamo Draft House, P. Terry's.
Bolden Creek. It's a cafe, and it's all vegan food. And it's been in Austin for a couple of decades.
Further up north, if you go to Manna Korean restaurant in that little plaza, it's got really good authentic Korean food, got a nice little quirky Korean market next to it, and there's also like a Korean bakery with some of the best pastries I think in town, so definitely give those a shot.
Kind of depends on where your grad school is located. You don't want to be too far away. That being said, I would recommend Hyde Park, the Hancock neighborhood by the golf course, and off of Manor as some really good places to live that are close to campus but not where all of the undergraduate students live. Still very accessible by bike and bus, and generally has a more young professional feel in those neighborhoods.
A grad student at the time told me, you should move to Hyde Park because if you don't have a car, it's great because everything is within walking distance. So everything is really easy to have access to, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's, going to a bar or a nice little restaurant. You can really find everything pretty easily around that area. Or, I would recommend somewhere like Mueller or something like that. That's not exactly on campus because that can get really loud, but that's pretty close by. So that it's not a struggle, getting there every day, getting to UT every day.
So the best advice I would like to give to international students such as myself is to be ready to explore things and be ready to meet new people. It can be daunting at first, but there are different programs like the ATX Bridges or different community events that you should go to. And if you are from a different country, you are always welcome here. People are very welcoming, so just go knock on their doors and meet up people. And as you meet up people, it will help you do the processes and figure out things as well. So reach out to people, don't be shy. That's the advice that I'd like to give you.